Right, let's look at the directed numbers. The first thing I would say is break it down into 4 videos. Directed numbers tends to cause a lot of confusion. So we need to give the children time to absorb each operation before we put the whole thing together. First thing is always have a number line visible so you can work with it. The next thing is to explain that positive numbers means move to the right. Negative numbers means move to the left. Maybe I should just comment firstly on the video. The summary of tables that you gave, when you were talking about addition and subtraction, in your summary table of signs, your first sign referred to the operand, and your second sign referred to the sign attached to the number. When you came to multiplication division summary, the first number was the sign of the first number. Sorry, the first sign was the sign of the first number, and the second sign was the sign of the second number. So table 1, first sign was operand. When we came to multiplication division, it was the sign attached to the number, and that would be very confusing. And I would avoid the term operand, just use the word operation. This is what this does to this particular number or numbers. The other thing to stress is that the numbers that they're accustomed to using, all the counting numbers they've been using, are all positive numbers. They are, a 3 is in fact positive 3, but we never write the positive sign for a positive number. However, for the exercise of directed numbers, we are going to do it. Now, the first example you must do is examples that lead to a positive result that they are familiar with. So you take something like positive 3 plus positive 5. Stress, we always start at 0. Positive 3 tells me to advance 3 paces. So that's not writing very well. 1, 2, 3. I'm here now. And then I've got another positive number, 5 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the result is 8. And we know 3 plus 5 is 8. So you can do 1 or 2 more examples like that. Then we want to go on to adding negative numbers. So again, our first few examples are going to be results that are positive. So we start at 0, and we've got to go to the right 6 places. A negative number tells me to move to the left. So I'm here, and if I move to the left, I end up at 4, which is equal to 4. And then, you do a few more examples. So let me just put a few here. Plus minus 5 is equal to 2. 8 plus minus 7 is equal to 1. When you've done a few of those, we say to them, well, if I have the number 6 and the number 2, what do I have to do to get the result 4? I have to subtract, and you do this same here. I have the number 7, and I have a number 5, And if I want the result 2, it means I've got to subtract. And then you can say, well, look, we've got a double sign here, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, and it can simplify to simply a minus. Now introduce results that will give you a negative answer. You get another number line here. So let's look at something like 3, positive 3 plus negative 8. Starting at 0, positive 3, 1, 2, 3, negative, and I'm adding a negative 8, which tells me I've got to go to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where I end up. So the result then is minus 5. And again, do several results like that. And again, then you can say, well, look, if I do this here and simplify that to a minus, I'm starting with a positive number, going there, and the subtraction, oh no, wait, sorry, not at this stage, later, after we've done subtraction. Sorry, forget that. That's simplification yet. Now let's look at subtraction. So 6 minus a positive 4. Again, I'm starting with results, examples that are going to give me a positive answer. This tells me start at 0, go forward to the right 6 places. The subtraction tells me to change direction. So, if I'm here, positive 4 tells me to move to the right, but the subtraction tells me I must change direction, so I'm going to go there and get a result of 2. Now, with something like this here, you can say, well, look, 6 subtract a positive 4 is really 6 subtract 4. Remember, we don't put in the positive signs, and we know the result of this here has got to be 2. We know 6 subtract 4 is 2. So if we go to our number line and we advance 6 places, I know that after I've subtracted my positive 4, I've got to end up there. So how do I get from there to there if I'm subtracting a positive 4? It means I've got to change direction. Something you could actually tell them to do is to stand up and turn to their right. And then they're moving backwards, forwards. So plus 6 would say move 6 places forward. Now remember, they've turned and they're facing to the right. And they move 6 paces forward. The minus sign tells them to turn around. And once they've turned around, then they move 4 places, and since they're now facing to the left, forward means going to the left. So that's something they can actually stand up and do for themselves, or otherwise just simply change direction. Now you want to look at, again, do a few more examples of that. Now let's look at subtracting a negative number. I'm at +3. I'm at 0, and I've got a +3, so I move to there. The minus tells me change direction. A negative number tells me to move to the left, but the subtraction says change direction, so therefore I must go to the right, and I end up at +5. Now, I said before, directed numbers is not easy for them to grasp. You want to do lots of these examples and get them to see that, yes, I'm changing direction. If I change direction, what previously meant go to the left now means go to the right. Now let's look at 3 subtract. Well, let's go with the same numbers, but now we've got -3 subtract -2. So let me change color of pens here so I don't. So I'm starting here. You'd use a different number line, or you'd be able to erase that or something. I'm starting there. -3 tells me move to the left 3 places. This -2 tells me to move to the left. But because I am subtracting, it tells me to change direction. So instead of moving to the left 2 places, I must move to the right 2 places. There's my answer. -1. Then when you've done all that, do your summary. Add, subtract, positive, positive, negative, negative. And then go back on your examples and show that when you add 2 positive numbers, positive, if you have a positive and a negative, it's a negative. Sorry, I need to rephrase that. Actually, that's something. Can I just say this? Obviously, after you've done a video, go back and listen to what you said. I mean, I know I do this when I'm teaching. I say something and then either I recall I've said it or somebody in the class will tell me. So go back and listen to your video and just focus on what you're saying. So what I meant over there is what I call the double signs. The double signs of these things here. And show them if you have a plus and a plus is equivalent to addition. If you have a plus and a minus, it's equivalent to a minus. If you have a minus and a plus, it's equivalent to a minus. And if you have a minus and a minus, a double negative, it's equivalent to a plus. So you need to sort of build up your examples and then be able to refer back to them to show how you draw up this table.